Hello, welcome to Continental Update, where we update you on what you know and what you don't know about Africa and around the globe. We are here to entertain, educate, and to inform. Today we are here to talk about Niger. Yes, where or what was Niger called before? What was Niger called before? This date, 18th December 1958, is celebrated as a Republic Day, the national holiday of Niger, and considered the date of the founding of the nation in March 1959. Prehistoric Niger, Imperial Niger, 1990s to 2000s. The modern spelling Niger was first recorded by Berber scholar Leo Africanus in 1550, possibly derived from the Tuareg phrase Ger in Gerin, meaning river of rivers. There is broad consensus among linguists that it does not derive from the Latin word Niger, in quote, black, as was first erroneously believed. Niger is a country in Africa that has an ancient history, and most of modern civilization can be traced its root back to this area. However, unforeseen environmental change altered the social makeup of Niger, and complex scientists were gradually changed into nomadic clans that still populate the landscape today. Further intrusion, albeit this time political in nature, changed society once again in Niger when the French colonized the region in the early 20th century. Since independence, the country has experienced political turmoil and is today still attempting to find a path forward. The Sahara Desert has not been kind to the environment and the history of Niger and its people. 5,000 years ago, the north of the country was fertile grassland and was populated by early farmers who domesticated animals and created a complex society. In a process known as desertification, around 2,000 years ago, the habitat changed and the inhabitants of Niger were forced to become nomadic, an indigenous culture that still remains today. Later in history, one of the great empires of Africa, called the Songhai, expanded into modern-day Niger as far as Agadez until it collapsed in 1591. In the 13th century, the nomadic Tuareg pushed south into the Air Mountains and then continued to rule over most of northern Niger and into parts what is now Nigeria. Strong Tuareg culture is still observed in the city of Agadez. Different parts of the country remain ruled over by various tribes, and by the 19th century the city of Zinda had become an important hub. The first contact with Europeans came in the 19th century when the first explorers came searching for the source of the Niger River. The territory of Nigeria was already the domain of the British. All of the ethnic groups of Nigeria rebelled against European intrusion, and Niger was not finally anchored as a colony until 1922, when the French claimed it as their own. Actually, Niger was amongst the last of African nations to be colonized by Europeans, but even after World War I, the age of empire was alive, and the French had vested interest in the natural resources that Niger held. Today, Niger's economy relies heavily on subsistence crops and livestock, although it also contains some of the world's largest uranium deposits buried underground. The political situation has not been helped by the fact that Niger has been kept extremely poor since its independence little over 50 years ago, since its subsistence economy is at the mercy of unavoidable environmental degradation such as drought and desertification. This and also the drop in demand for uranium since 1960s prior to this a lucrative export for the country. Most of Niger and Western Africa has influenced by Islam since its spread westwards from the Middle East. Niger is no different, with around 90% of the population being Muslim. Niger is home to the largest protected area in Africa. Niger has its own dinosaur. Niger is home to the highest mud brick structure in the world. Niger is part of the Great Green Wall of Africa project. Thank you for watching, and this is Continental Update. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to support. Now you know where Niger got its name from.